And Tinubu have left the shores of Nigeria, not because he's sick, because of the he has been troubled by the level of what is happening. You see, he wouldn't want to die of a heart attack because he understood that he also was part of the failure. He contributed to the failure of the system, and by now I believe he must be regretting his actions. You can understand what is actually happening. You see, it beats my imagination to, of course, and leave me with no doubts that there is a conspiracy of silence. There is a conspiracy within people within the corridor of power, abetting, aiding, and of course sponsoring the jihad or Islamic radicals to overrun the entire Nigerian state. So of which he could not be absolved of such complicity is very unfortunate. And that, of course, have left so many people deserted, and so many communities are now scurrying for safety. And in fact, the communal life have been disrupted. School system in the northern region has been abolished, which are one of the proposals of these Islamic apologies. It's very unfortunate.
So, but then you think the rate of insecurity in the East, the killings, the attacks, don't you think it has been reduced to any point?
Reduced in what sense? Unfortunately, this media is underreporting the level of calamity or atrocity that is going on. The media has been clamped down, the media have been squeezed, queried for reporting live incidents, and it's very unfortunate. So it has not in any way reduced. Rather, it has gotten out of hand. Probably the next one may be they will tell us that Asorok has been attacked, and probably the whatever you call it, the impostor or the suppose the president has been adopted. I think that will mark the end or the climax of the system.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Looking at these bandits, or rather terrorists, the fact that they were able to get into the NDA, what's your thought on this?
Yes, it wouldn't have been possible for an external body to invade that facility, because, as I exactly said, it represents the symbol of nationality. In fact, apart from, in fact, that is the headquarter, first headquarter per se, because that is where you see what Nigeria is made up of. It's unfortunate. How could they have beat the security checks to the point they succeeded finding their way through the... It's a large facility. I mean, if you have been there before, you understand what... It is not possible for an external body who has no link with the insiders to invest such a facility, such system. Is impossible. So there are insiders who are briefing them or giving them information, and it's very unfortunate. Does it mean that there are no guides, there are no security men on guard? You see, how could you expect people with a free mind to accept such? So there is more to it, of which we have not been briefed. And unfortunately, in Nigeria, as much as it's not against their political interests, they will sweep it under the carpet because it is irrespective of whose house is called, because it doesn't affect them. Once it doesn't affect them, it doesn't endanger their interests, well, that is good to go. That's why a sitting president who should have been thrown into a mourning state, who should have declared public holiday or a mourning day for those hierarchy officers who lost their life to mere banditry, as they claim, you see, ended up saying that that will boost the morale of the military. In what sense? In what sense? In what respect? You can imagine the understanding of the supposed first citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who lost, if not over 4 military personnel, and he was throwing party that would be a booster to their morale, which of course the military has lost. They have been psychologically defeated, traumatized. Most of them are tendering resignation, leaving the Nigerian force, because it's as if they were sent there to as a sacrificial lamb. If the university, the only university of Nigerian force or the military could be invaded, then what is it a secondary school or whatever? So you can see that unfortunately we are in for the unimaginable.
So with this, you don't think the security problem of Nigeria have in any way been half solved, or gotten better?
It is those within the corridor of power. I mean the dispensation, this current dispensation of Muhammadu Buhari is the architect of the problem, of the crisis. You see, there are several insinuations. Of course, before he assumed office, in 2015, after the election, he made a public statement that he is going to make Nigeria ungovernable for President Jonathan. Unfortunately, he, of course, directly or indirectly, stole the mandates of the people. And of course, what he has wished others has to come back to him. The people, the machineries he has hired, mobilized to disrupt the government of Jonathan could not find any other place, because they have been bought over to kill, to destroy. He also said categorically that the baboons and the monkeys will be soaked in the blood. Unfortunately, Jonathan applied wisdom and relinquished power, even when he understood that he was rigged out. He admitted the defeat, he conceded to that, and it becomes a history. So Buhari was not prepared to govern. He wasn't prepared to govern, but he was prepared to be mischievous, to make the Nigerian state ungovernable, to throw this entire region under chaos, and unfortunately inherited this failed state, which of course he should be held responsible. Now Jonathan has been exonerated, and all the deceptive propagandas, excuse me, sponsored by medias and all that, and his co-sponsors or conspirators, where are they today? And Tinubu have left the shores of Nigeria, not because he's sick, because of he has been troubled by the level of what is happening. You see, he wouldn't want to die of a heart attack, because he understood that he also was part of the failure. He contributed to the failure of the system, and by now I believe he must be regretting his actions. He must be regretting, of course, for, in the first place, supporting a bigot, somebody who has no interest in building nationhood. So how do you expect things to work out? How do you expect normalcy to return to the Northeast? he made a promise under 6 months that, of course, he would decimate Boko Haram. But what has happened? Boko Haram has become a monster, a formidable Islamic movement, which, of course, have access to funds, have access to sophisticated weapons, armories, which can dislodge the entire military architecture of Nigerian system. That's why, even till today, as Gumi has claimed that even in 20 years, you cannot destroy Boko Haram. And it was released by the Attorney General or Jarab, whosoever, that in this dispensation, that there are over 400 sponsors of Boko Haram, people that were indicted, but yet it was not released to the public domain. They have not been summoned or called to book. DSS have not queried people if they have not done that. So why is the need of course, letting the people know that we have gotten the list, the people who are sponsors to this heinous crime, that have disrupted the entire system, that have, in fact, Nigeria has collapsed under the watch of General Muhammadu Buhari. It's very unfortunate.
Okay, let's look at the fact that the barrister, IPOB lawyer, barrister Ejiofor,
the legal counsel.
Yes, okay. He explained the way they were treated by DSS when they wanted to visit, or rather, he wanted to visit the leader of the airport, that's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The fact that they were told to pull off their shoes and all of that. What's your view as regards that treatment?
It's very unfortunate that they were subjected to such inhuman treatment. For crying loud, they are exercising their legitimate duty as a legal counsel to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, in person of His Excellency, has been addressed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So I think that shouldn't have happened in the first place. It's very unfortunate. Why should the government and the instruments of the state continue to violate, continue to subjugate the supposed citizens, you see, in such a dehumanizing level? Treatment meted on lawyers, not just ordinary lawyers, for crying loud. Even though they're ordinary lawyers, doesn't they deserve some respect? For crying loud, these are citizens, these are not criminals. Why should they be subjected to such inhuman, dehumanizing treatment? It's very unfortunate. All in the name of course, intimidating them. You see, and frustrating their efforts, or trying to, of course, subjugate them or make them give up whatever position they may be holding or they may have in respect to, in defense of their own clients. For crying loud, their action was backed up by the courts. The court gave them that warrant or that opportunity, or whatever the legal term used, to be able to assess their client. So why should they be treated as if they are hoodlums? These are responsible gentlemen and learned fellows. It's very unfortunate. So that is why what we are saying in this system is a system that does not respect for the fundamental rights of the people. The right to association and fair hearing. You see, how do you expect, of course, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get justice if his legal counsels could be subjected to such psychological and mental torture? It's very unfortunate. Then what happens to Nnamdi Kanu, who is under the detention, under the dungeon of the DSS? You see, the unimaginable is really happening. But that notwithstanding, of course, people, they have the rights to fair hearing. They have the right to justice, to fairness or fair trial, irrespective of the intimidation coming from the states. It's very unfortunate. If such people could be subjected to such level of assault, dehumanizing treatment, then what happens to this average or common men on the streets? You can understand that there is no respect or regard for anyone. People who were opportune to be within the corridor of power will parade themselves, of course, as demigods, as if, in fact, if they have opportunity, they will even overthrow the Elohim. Not understanding that it's very unfortunate that power belongs to God.
Okay, but then do you think what do you think the DSS wanted to achieve by that action?
Whatever may be their motive for doing that, that doesn't stop the people for demanding for justice. Nnamdi Kanu is not just it's not just an ordinary person. He's a notable personality across the entire nation, international figure. So you shouldn't be treated with such level of disregard. So he has the right to demand for justice, and he has a teeming population of followers at numbering over 150 million. So you can't just, jeopardize the interests of these followers who are keeping watch, who are following up the development. Of course, most of them, their patience has been exhausted. In fact, they are waiting just for the least opportunity to overturn the entire Nigeria state. If, of course, the state will dare to play in that line, it's very unfortunate. So what I'm advocating, if the government should listen, is they should stop all these intimidations from different quarters. That will not help issue. You are rather making the people to believe that truly you are what people claim have alleged you, that you are bent at intimidating or killing whoever that you think that is standing on your way. I believe we are in a democratic setting, and the democratic norms should be adhered to or strictly implemented. There are rules of law, and accused is presumed innocent until proven otherwise by a competent court of law. So when did DSS become the people that will pass the verdict? They are taking laws into their hands. You have no right to ask somebody to subject a legal counsel for crying loud. His client had not been convicted of whatever allegation that was levied on against him or charges. So why should you treat even the legal counsels, learned fellows, in such manner? It is a shame to the Nigerian state. It's a very big shame.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie, for that. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.